your best face, and you can all just see this screen here. Is that correct? Just give me the thumbs up. Yep, lovely, 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 excellent. Let me just see if I can turn the automatic, where is it? It's down here somewhere. Oh no, it's off. Good. Because otherwise it just does this really weird thing all the time. Okay, so if that's big enough for everybody to see, I might turn this light on as well. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? It didn't help at all. Okay, excellent. All right, so what I did, now if you need to stop me because you haven't, I'm going too fast or something like that, you will have to turn your mic on to get my attention because I'm not looking at the screen all the time. I'll be looking down here, this beautiful thing here. So the first thing we did is we used our scale ruler at 1 to 100, which is like a centimetre ruler, and we went up to 13 and we measured up the side from the bottom of our page down here. We measured up 13 and then do another measure up on this side at 13, and then you can use your longer ruler or your whichever you like to draw a line right across the page like that. Yeah, good. Now I did, can anyone remember what scale I did this in? I think I did it at 1 to 20, 1 to 50. So if I go to 1 to 50, which is no, it's not that one. It's, oh, I've got a different ruler to you. No, I haven't. I have got a good ruler. So if we go to 1 to 50, because we'll draw this in 1 to 50, we are going to, no, 1 to 20, sorry. Sorry, my mistake. It's 1 to 20, which is on the red side. If we go and we do 1 metre, 2 metres, excellent. And then we go up to just before 25, so we've got 24. So from that first line we drew, if you go up to 24 on that side and then 24 on the other side, and then you can draw a straight line. This will just keep it straight to begin with. Once we start to draw the perspective, it will be otherwise. I'm just going to do that really lightly to begin with because I'll erase it later. Oh, and I managed to buy myself some of those really nice black rubbers. I'm so happy. Okay, then we're going to just, let me give you a measurement so that we can just kind of get it in here. Oh, I hate this. Just drives me insane that I can never get it around the right way. Let's come in 3 metres at 1 to 20 and then measure across 3 metres, okay? And then mark every, is that somebody waiting to come in? Is somebody waiting to come in? Come in, come in. There we go. In. Excellent. Right, good. And then mark off every 500, okay? At 1 to 20, like this. And then you can, again, so you keep everything nice and straight, measure up here, 3 metres, and then another 3 metres, which is actually 6 metres altogether, and then mark off the grid up there as well, okay? It's just so you keep all your lines straight, and then you can just join these up. Oh, that was straight, wasn't it? Lovely. Very nice. So in the end, we will have something that looks vaguely like this. And I'm just going to do this really lightly. Hopefully you can still see that. Yep. Cool. And that one. And then this one down here. And then this one across here. So I'm just going to put in some measurements up here for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. And then that one goes to there. Oh, I could have done that before. So that you can see. Zip. That should go down there a bit more. So that's 3,000 at 1 to 20, and that's 3,000 at 1 to 20. That measurement up there, which side will I put it on? That side. From there to there was 13, just so those who have come in late, and then I made that 24. So that was 3,000 at 1 to 100, and then from here to here, that was 4,000 at 1 to 20. Hopefully that'll make sense, or at least be helpful to you guys. And then I want you to mark going up this way from the bottom at 1 to 20. You're going to mark coming upwards 500, 500, which is a meter, then 1 to 50, then 2, and then you'll have 400 left at the top. And the reason why we always measure from the ground up, because this is the ground, this is going to be the corner where the wall meets the ground or floor, and then this will be where the ceiling comes from, is because not every room is actually, 24. It could be 27, it could be 3 meters and with a little bit left over. And the reason why you measure up from the bottom of the drawing is because you want whatever's left over that's not a 500 to be at the top of your drawing. It's much easier to draw something when you've got that odd number at the top, because most of what you will be drawing or doing in perspective will be in this area. Okay, so make sure you do it from the ground measuring up. Now, then go across, do this measurement on both sides, 500 and 500s, going up the side again here. Do. You have to make the noises too. I will be expecting noises. Do. And then, oh, that was really not very straight at all, was it? No, nice. I left my good T-square at work, and so I had to get one of these dreadful plastic things, and it's driving me insane because nowhere's open. So you should end up with something that looks like that. So these are all 500 by 500 grids on the wall, and then up here it'll be 500 by 400. So that's the leftover bit. All right. Once you get to that stage, we're going to choose our vanishing point, because this is going to be a 1 point perspective. Okay. And it's drawn at 1 to 20. Okay. That's always good to write that at the top or somewhere on your drawing so that you know exactly what you're dealing with. And then you're going to put underneath that you've got a 500 by 500 grid. All right. That means that, and this is also at 1 to 20. It wouldn't be at anything else, but just put that in anyway. Now, we want to have what is our horizon line. We talked about that before, where we talked about, the eye line height, and we said that it was either 150 or 1600 from the ground up. So if we count this, we've got 500, a meter, 1 meter 50. We can just use the 1 meter 50. You can make it go higher. You can actually make looking much further down into the room. So the higher up you put your horizon line will make the view of the room more so that you are looking down into the room. But we're just going to be looking straight into the room rather than down like this. I hope that makes sense when I go straight into the room and, oh, look at that. And that one goes there. Okay. So I'm just going to go, all right, let's just pop our vanishing point just here. So that's 1, 2, 3 up and 1, 2 in. And that's going to be our vanishing point. So put VP there and make that a little bit darker so you can see it. Now, although we've got these things written all along here, I've done that for you. You don't have to write all of that except for that at the top. It's just so that you can see the measurements. Once you've done that and we've got our vanishing point, what we do from there is we go to our vanishing point, put our pencil on the VP, bring the ruler up to it because it's much easier to do that. And then you can rotate the ruler around. And I'm rotating and lining my vanishing point up with this corner here. And do the 4 corners of your room. All right? Just like this. And down the bottom here as well. And then from the vanishing point again to that corner too. So basically what we've drawn here, can you start to see the perspective now? Just a wave, thumbs up, that'll be good.
Yes, we do.
Good, excellent, lovely, thank you. All right, so now that we've done that, we're only going to put the grid on the ground here. So this is now the floor, all right? And to do that, we do exactly the same thing as we did before, where we did the grid and we came out like that. And straight, this one will come straight down. This one will come across. This one will come across that way from the vanishing point to that 500. Okay. And then I'm going to do that one as well. Okay. Just give me the thumbs up when you guys on the screen, when you've all drawn that sort of thing. What is that hat thing you've got in your hand? What is that? It's a fan or something, is it?
No, it's my placemat.
Oh, it's your place.
I'm on my dining table. Yeah. My office desk is not big enough. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Good. There we go. How are we all going?
So this is a question, Hannah.
Yes, darling.
How do you determine the VV point? How do you determine it?
I determined it by, sorry, wrong pencil, by going, I needed it to be at least 1500 millimeters high.
1500?
Yeah, so that's 500, 1 meter, 1 meter 50 or 1500 millimeters, because each one of these squares are 500 by 500. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At 1 to 20. This has all been drawn at 1 to 20. So I did that. Now, the average height for somebody's eye line or horizon, let me just draw this line going all the way across so that we can call it horizon. So if I do that going all the way across like that, and I write on, it might be good for you guys to do this yourself, horizon or eye line. Okay. At the moment, that's where the horizon is for us. It's 1500 millimeters off the ground, which is here. And then I counted in 2, 500, 1 meter along that same line. And that gave me the vanishing point. And as I said before, we're looking, depending on where you put this, we are looking straight into the room. We're not looking down into the room. If we wanted to look down into the room, we would actually do our vanishing point up there, which means we move the horizon. But let's just do with looking straight on into the room to begin with, okay? And I'm probably, my eye line height, or for me, is probably about, 1500 millimeters. It could be 1300 millimeters because I'm quite short. So, depending on how high you are, but we're just going for an average here of 1500 because it lines up nicely. All right. Okay, now we need to get this grid on the floor. So to do that, we need to do that whole thing where we measure out to the side. Now, I sort of was thinking about this last night. We're all not going to have great big, long, huge desks because, you know, we're all trying to do this on the go. So we're going to have to kind of what I call guess it. So what I'm going to do is I'll see what that looks like if I go from the center of my page. No, that's too much. What if I go, all right, just bear with me for a second while I work this out so it actually works out okay for you guys. Because remember we had to get the grade of this down here, we had to add the width of the room together and times it by 2 or 2.5 or something like that. So let's just see if I can get this to do this without, stop doing that. Things are getting in the way. Okay, so if I go down to that one, what does that do? And what about that one? What does that do? Sorry. Oh, okay, that might be better. Let's see. I just want it to look really lovely. Okay. On this, within here, if you go up to this first 500, okay, and you extend that line out to the side of your page, all right, and then from that point at the edge of your page and where the 500 comes across here, you put your ruler between, keeps getting in the way, that point there and the bottom part of your, the very, very bottom part of this wall here, and draw a line across. And that, I think, will give us a fairly good thing, fairly good grid size. If I do that, so every time this line that I've just drawn across here intersects with one of these coming out, this is the next step, I'm going to draw a line going straight across. Now, this is where if you don't have a T-square and a set square, you're just going to have to make sure that these look even, all right? Or that they're straight. You could quite possibly measure them all out, but let's see. And then this one will go across here. And yeah.
Jasmine, I just want to know, can you repeat again where you get, how you get?
Where I got this line from?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. All right, so if you go up to the first, you know, this first 500 line on the grid on this, what would be the back wall that we're looking at, and you extend that line out until it hits the edge of the page, and you put your ruler between where this line hits the edge of the page and to that point there.
Okay.
Okay, and then you will draw from there, you will draw a line that goes all the way across until it gets to the other side of this line here.
Okay.
Okay, now if you want to, although it's going to be difficult to do it that way, I would just try and make sure that when you came to draw these lines across, you just made them look, just try to line them up as much as possible so that you had the same distance all the way across. And then when you moved it down, it was the same distance again from here to here. The only other thing I can suggest is what you do is you measure each one of them if you want to, but let's just try and draw some lovely straight lines if we can. All right. So just make them go straight across. I suppose you could measure your, put your ruler to the edge of the page or your desk or something. So you've got that straight bit against your page, a straight bit of your ruler against there. or you did that way. Let me just see if this works. If you just lined up the edge of whatever ruler you've got, and when you bring it down, you can, that'll keep it fairly straight. And then you can gauge whether you can see that the differences, that these are straight. This is not straight. I don't like it when it does that. I have to do that one again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500 squares. So that means that I don't like this ruler. It's horrible. Sorry, that's me complaining about the ruler I bought because it's a cheap one and it's, that's better. That's better. And then we should have one more, which is this one here, which is that one. Okay. So you should have something that looks like this with lovely straight lines, or as straight lines as you can possibly get. Once you've done that, then we've got a grid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3 meters coming across here, because each one of these squares in perspective are 500 by 500. Okay, so 2 of these squares from here to here would be 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters coming towards you. Thumbs up. Do we understand that so far? Kind of. If you don't, say you don't, and I'll explain it again.
Annalise?
Yep.
I think I kind of missed, how did you transfer the 500 from the wall to the floor?
Okay. You know how we came up to this first 500 on the wall?
Yes.
This square here is a wall we're looking at, all right?
Yeah.
And then I got you to extend that out along here, the first 500.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I do get it, but I don't get it how you get the lines, like the
These ones.
Yes.
Oh, every time this line goes through one of these lines coming out. So see where?
Yeah, those lines that are coming down, I don't know how you get them, because I draw mine, but they are quite straight, and yours goes
What?
they go quite open at the end of the page, at the bottom.
Here?
Yeah.
These lines that come out?
Yeah, how do you draw
Oh, okay, right. Gotcha, honey. Right. Yeah. You put your ruler between your vanishing point and those 500s down.
Awesome, got it. Thank you.
Got it?
Yeah.
Where it hits here, and then they come out like that.
Got it. Thank you.
That's all right, sweetie. Not a problem. Okay, so we do this, and then we do that, like that. I'm just darkening this up a little bit so that it makes, so you can see it. I'm drawing with a really bad pencil at the moment. There we go. And that one comes to there. All right, so this is what we're up to at the moment. We've got a grid on the floor. And the first perspective that we did do, we did that one that had the hall table with the light on it, and it had three windows next to it. Remember that? Vaguely? No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we've drawn this at 500 by 500, this grid. So we're going to have to do a little bit of of extending this whole thing out a bit further, which you can do. So don't panic. We'll try not to panic. All right. So the first thing that we're doing, and this is our wall. It's the only place that we can use our scale ruler on. Okay. Within this square and the lines of this square is the only place we can use our scale ruler. So if I was going to, now, do you all have baking paper at home? You know the stuff on the roll?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys can use that. I've got some stuff here. Sorry, I just have to go and come and get the stuff. Where is it? Oh, not that one. This one. Is it that one? That one. I went into one of those $2 shops and got some cheap stuff because for perspective drawing we don't. Oh, you don't really need it. Oh, I've just creased the first page. That's really good. I got one of these. It's not very thick. Okay, it's got 60. It's 60 GSM, which is not good for drafting on, but it's okay for it's absolutely okay for using to do a perspective drawing on or to do tracing with. So I just got one of these, but you can use baking paper, you know, that's fine as well. This is T's self-office strip. Something just fell on the ground. I don't know what it was. I don't care now. And then you can put a piece of this over the top. I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to extend this back wall that I'm looking out further. I'm not going to make it go higher. I'm just going to make it go out on either side. And to do that, what I will do is I will go back to my 1 to 20 and I'm going to put another 3, 1, 2, 3 on that side, and I'm going to put another 3 500s on that side. So going that way and that way. So I end up with something that is going to make this much bigger than I actually wanted it. But let's just do that there. And again on this side at 1 to 20 just to extend it out. So you can do this with a perspective that you're doing. You're still going to leave your vanishing point exactly where it is. I'm just going to draw those lines up here. Okay. And then over here, whoops, do that one on there. It's a dreadful piece of, I don't like this T-square. It's horrible. I don't like it. Does it wobbles? I don't like wobbly things. So it does that. And then what we can do is extend those lines out from our vanishing point as well. So we can extend these 500s out as well, like that. So we're now making this or turning this what looked like a room into an actual hallway. So there's no wall at that end and there's no wall at that end. It's just becoming a long hallway that we're looking at. And again, from my vanishing point, I will bring out these lines and that line and that line on that side. Okay. So that we've got a really long hallway. And then you can extend these out if you need to, but I don't think we're going to need to do that at this point, but let's do it anyway because it's a good idea to do it. So I'm just going to, where I first did this, I'm just going to extend that line out that way and get that ruler thing much longer and extend it out that way. So it goes all the way out there. Just so it's sort of, we make the grid bigger. My grid's gone all over the place. I don't like that. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it when things don't go straight. It upsets me. Anyway, so I've just extended this whole grid out. All right, because I set up how far away everything was going to be within this space here. But I can expand it once I've done that. So now we've got our hallway. We can start to think about where we put those windows that we had. So we'll have something that will do this. Don't do that, do this, do that, and that piece of sticky tape. over the top. Now see how I'm not putting it exactly over the grid? I'm actually moving this up. It's so that it remains in the center of my actual page now that I've set my grid up. Yep. Yeah. Oh, no, it's stuck right around my finger. And pop that on there. All right. Now, I can draw over the top of my grid. So when I erase something, I'm not going to erase my grid. Where's my new gorgeous, look, gorgeous new black. So happy. Okay, so from memory, because I don't have it in front of me, but from memory, the actual hallway that we looked at did something like it had a thing there with a light on it, and then it had 1, 2, 3 windows. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work out what that is. All right. And we're going to put it on here. So we'll do it. We're going to put count from here. 1, 2. So here, 1, 2 squares, the third line in is where we're going to put the, and we can draw it on the back line wall first. So that is going to be the height. Now, because I know that this is 500 from here to here and from here to here is 500, which makes a meter overall, I'm going to bring it down so it looks like it's only at 900. Now you can guess that, or you can measure it, all right? So you have to use your scale ruler only on the back wall, and you go up and, oh, I'm a legend. I got it right. And you can measure your 900 up the wall and just draw it between these two here, so you get a square. So I've drawn that on the wall, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to go one window, which is only going to be 2 meters high, is going to go in here, and the second window is going to go here, and the third window is going to go here. They look a bit big though, don't they? Let's still fit on A4 paper. Oh yeah, cool. And then the fourth, the next one's going to go down here. So I'm going to darken those in. I'm going to put that there so that I've drawn this. The whole point of using a grid is so that you can draw things so they look really nicely. So they're nice and straight, and they're in the place they should be. I'll do that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one. And then using the grid, 1, 2, 3. So let me just put some white paper underneath that, so that all you're going to see now is just that. Okay. Oh, I should have drawn that in on the ground though. I'll just draw the floor line in, and I'll just draw in the ceiling, so we can see that as well. And that ceiling line from there to there. Wrong pencil, go away. I want that pencil. All the way across to there, and all the way across to here. So what you should end up with is something that looks like that. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up there. You look like you've got a blow-up balloon wrapped around you with your big jacket on. So it's very puffy, isn't it? It's huge.
Yeah.
You talking to me?
At your house?
Sorry?
You talking about me?
Yes.
Oh.
It's just like my vase, but it's just like
nice
Duna.
and comfortable.
Duna.
And
You know?
Denise, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, darling.
Are we doing the bedroom with a garden view, or are we doing the other one?
No, we're doing the other one. The other one that's the hallway. This one.
Because we already done that. Okay, I was just a bit confused. All right.
No. We're doing this because it's the easier of the two, just to have a quick going over of what 1 point is.
Okay.
But basically it's the same thing. Or did you all have a problem with the bedroom?
I haven't done the bedroom one.
No one's done the bedroom one?
I haven't done it yet, but I wasn't there on the last class. So that's
Oh, right. Okay. What about other people? Have you done the bedroom one? Anyway, this is just a good starting off so we get our brain around a 1 point perspective anyway. I can always do the bedroom one again anyway after this.
Yep, please.
Yep. Okay. All right.
But it was good to have a refresh on this as well.
Well, this one was really simple, so we can get our heads around it a little bit easier than the other one. So I'm going to turn my heater on because I'm cold.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like this one. It looks like a 2D, you know, 2D drawing.
Yeah. What do you mean? The one that I've got that you're looking at now? This one here.
Yeah, this one looks like a 2D, you know.
It
2D
does at the
drawing.
moment. But what we will do is when I take that away, we are going to draw in. We're going to draw this in. We're going to make this look 3D, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're only going to bring it out by 500, so the depth, so this first perspective grids, two of these perspective grid squares, we're going to bring it out. So we'll draw it on the ground first. So from our vanishing point, which I shall just reiterate there, along the grid, I'm going to draw out just to the this first line here. And I'll do it on the other side here as well. Okay. And then I'm just going to draw a line going straight across. Can you guys see that? I'll just slide a piece of paper. I need to do that. I have to keep doing this, I think. So see what I've done there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It looks like that. Now I can actually, from this point, just not use the grid, but I can go back to my VP and I can bring the top part of this out on both sides like this. So it comes out, you know, so that when I draw a straight line up here, it will actually, so make sure this is parallel. And if I draw a line going up to there, and where it intersects here, this line that I drew here, I can then draw another line parallel to that line going across until it hits this line that I drew out at that angle. And if I'm clever, I should be able to do that. And then I've got a box or a rectangle box. Is everyone with me? Are you all okay? You all look very industrious, I must say. You're all looking very, very seriously at the screen, and then I can see rulers appearing and pencils appearing.
Anna.
Yeah.
So how for this one, what's the measure for the depth of the box?
The depth of the box?
Yeah, the depth of the box.
You only come out one grid.
One grid. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so you come out one grid and then you go across two.
All right,
But
okay.
you use your vanishing point to draw it out on the ground first. Okay.
All right. Okay.
It's just that although it doesn't look too bad on the screen. So then you end up with something that looks like this. And then this is where we can go quite mad and freehand a couple of things in. So this is my box here. And to find the center of my box, the top part here, if I put my ruler between that corner of the box and the back, and I put my ruler between the back and then that opposite corner here, where those two lines cross is the center of that space in there. Can I get a thumbs up if everyone understood that? If you didn't, I'll do it again. Excellent. So now I've found the center of this space. Now I could do the same down on here as well. It's just finding the center of anything. You can, if you do diagonal lines from one corner to the other, whether it's a square or a rectangle, that will be the center. It gives you the very center of anything.
Sorry, Annalise.
Sorry, I'm just watching someone put on a huge jumper with bunny rabbits on it. It's just, I looked up and on the screen all I saw was this big purple bunny thing.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Nice and warm though, aren't they? Okay, sorry, Alicia, what was that you were going to say?
Just the top line, the face of the box. How did you find that line again?
Okay, you put your ruler between the front corner and diagonally across to the back, okay, and draw a line.
Height to begin with?
Sorry?
How did you get the height to begin with?
The front height of this box?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. From the vanishing point. The first one that you drew on the back.
Yep.
You then put your ruler between the vanishing point and where the back of the box is, and you draw a line out. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Sorry, let me just do that a little bit darker. I should get my colored pencil so that you can see that. So that's what I did first of all.
Okay, cool.
And then you'd already done it down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just draw these going straight up. So make sure that this line is parallel with that line.
Yeah.
Draw it straight up. Then go across. Make sure your ruler's parallel with the back of this line here. Draw it across. Then when it intersects this one you drew out,
Yeah.
you just draw those up so you end up with a box.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, you're okay?
That's cool. Thank you.
That's all right, darling. And then everyone's okay with being able to find where the center point of this top part is? Yep. Good. Excellent. You're all still in the dark. Some of you are in the dark. All I can see these black sort of outlines of people. It's really spooky. And you're really close to the screen. It's really weird. But it's kind of cool. It's okay. Okay. So we found the top area here. We found the center of it by going from the front of the top to the back diagonally, and from the back diagonally to the front, and we drew a line going across there. And where that line and that line cross over like that is the center of that particular thing, that particular area up the top there. It just means that we'll be able to place our beautiful, you know, lamp thing. So if I go back to here and just draw, no, I'll not use that. I'll use something else. I'll just use that one. So basically, just so you can see it better, or a bit larger, we've just drawn something that looks like this. Yep. With beautiful straight lines. And how I got the center of this area up here is that I drew a line from that corner across to that corner, and from that corner across to that corner. And where they both cross, that gives me the center of that space there. It's just that the way we're looking at it, it's a much smaller space that we're looking at, okay? So that's what we wanted to do. That's so that we could find the center of that, which is here. It's just that it's a lot squished together, a bit more squished together. Once I've found that, then I can do a circle or a sphere. And I just keep drawing lines until I get something that's nice and round that sits on that line there. Now, if you've got one of those, I don't know how to keep you full. Disappeared off the face of the earth. Bear with me. Bear with me. What did you do with it, kitten?
These ones.
Yeah. Circle template. I've got one too, but I don't know where it went. Oh, I bought a cheap one from the $2 shop. So, that makes life a lot easier. Because you don't really need to have them forever. Otherwise, they're too expensive to buy. So you can use a circle template of whatever you've got, variety you've got, and you can use that to help you draw a round doodah. Round doodah. Anyway. And so that's our round, beautiful round base. You can do, you can have a square one, but I thought a round one was fine. And then on top of that, you're going to do something that sort of looks a little bit like that, okay? So it's sort of draw what looks like a lampshade, and the lampshade will come over the top of the round bit because that's when you look at them. And then I'm going to slightly curve that, and then I'm going to slightly curve that going that way, okay? Because I won't see into this, into the top of the lamp, because that's where my eye line is. So I'll do that, and I'll do that. And just guess it, guys. Just make it look like a lamp, okay? And then I'm going to erase that bit of it. So I end up with something that looks like that. Pop it underneath. So I've ended up with something that looks like this, okay? What's that? Somebody's dinging at me. Why is somebody dinging at me? Never mind. That's okay. All right, there we go. That's okay. All right, so far we've got that. So we've got our box, which is our side table. We've got our windows, and we've got our lovely lampshade. Now, to make all these two objects or two shapes here look like they're rounded, we'll render that to make it look like it's rounded, all right? At the moment, we're just going to put some detail on the box here to make it look more like, I'm just going to get rid of that back line so we don't see it, and I'll get rid of that line, I'll get rid of that line. Yeah, this is not what I thought it was. Oh no, it is. It's a dust-free one, so they say. Okay. And this is where you can, have any kind of design you like. You could have one of those side tables that has really long legs or really short legs. But any line that is horizontal or vertical will remain horizontal and vertical. The only lines that you need the vanishing point are the side of the objects. So I'm just going to make this into something that's going to look like that, and then I'm just going to put some legs on it. I'm just going to put these type of legs on it. I'll go down and around the bottom and then up the top like that. On that side, oops, straighter would be nice. And then I'll do the same on that. Now you don't have to. You can have, you can make it go right down to the ground if you want to, but I'm just doing this to show you that once you've drawn the basic shape, you can, I have to do that so that I can see. I've got something like that. Then what I'll do is I'll get rid of that line for me. You might not need to, but I am for me. So that becomes the legs. Then we do, most of these things will have a top to them. So I'll just bring this down a little bit, make it go around the corner, and then it's going to have, just put a little tiny thickness there so it looks like a door. And then I will find the center of the front of this object here by going there, and then by going from that corner to that corner, so that I can just draw a line going straight up like that. And then that becomes the front of my thing. Could be a set of drawers. Let's make it a set of drawers. So I've got a set of drawers here with handles on it if I wanted to have handles on. Oh, actually, I might just have some of those. You know, the ones that sort of go in like that. I might do that. So the good thing about drawing things in as a whole object is so that you can work out where you want whatever it is that you're putting in here to create, you know, the piece of furniture you want. Everything that you first set up to draw, you will be drawing it in some sort of rectangle or some sort of square. So if I wanted to turn this into a lounge, I could. All right. And there's my lounge chair. But I drew that just from a whole space, this whole space here. So that's what I've done with this. I had just a whole, you know, rectangle cube or rectangle 3D thing, and then I just broke it up into what I wanted it to look like. So I've got my light, I've got this, which is my my drawers, and then I've got my windows, and I'm going to do a little tricky thing with my windows. I'm going to make them go backwards, what I call going out backwards. So rather than bringing them forward into the drawing, I'm going to draw backwards into the drawing, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to make these windows have a little bit of depth, so I'll set the depth up to be about there. Just very lightly here, and I'll draw that line down there. Yeah. And then I'll go from that corner back to my vanishing point, and I will do that. And that's giving me the depth. So you can make the depth as deep as you like or as small as you like. But I'm just doing that so that I've got... Now, this is the first one. So this is the first. So can you guys see how that goes in? Like that? Goes in. I've put a bit of depth because windows do have a bit of depth. They don't sort of sit flat against the wall. But my second one, because of where my vanishing point is, my second one is actually going to come this way. And so is my third one because they're on the other side of the vanishing point. All right. So once I've done those two lines there and they intersect that depth there that I first set up, I can then make sure this is parallel with this line, draw it down. Same with this one, draw it down. This one's going to be a little bit wider than the other one. And then from that corner, from this corner here, back to my vanishing point. So see how I've got now depth to my windows? You all okay with that? Some of you look terrified. I'm so sorry. You don't have to do it too much, okay? It's just that what we're trying to do is just create a little bit of depth. And rather than bringing this forward, I've made it go backwards so that it's going out. This is coming forward. The windows are going backwards out of the drawing.
Sorry, Annalise, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course you can.
So about this depth, you use the vanishing point, but how much is like your
How much did
line?
I need?
Yeah.
I just brought this line here down just a tiny weeny little bit.
Okay.
Okay, or you can do it from the bottom. You can just bring it up a tiny weeny bit. It's just, don't make it too big. Don't bring it down to there because then it makes it look like it's about about 1.5 meters deep. You just want it so it looks like down the bottom here, or you can do it down the bottom first. Just make it look like it just comes in by about 100. What would be 100? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All good. Thank you.
Okay. And once you've got that line set up very, very lightly, then you can use your vanishing point to draw to that line.
Mm.
And then once you go up here and you go bring this line down through here, when that intersects up here, then you can draw that line across. So you can do it either way, from the top or from the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. All good. Thank you.
That's right, sweetie. That one goes across there, that one goes across there, and that one goes across there. I'm just darkening these up a little bit now. So now I have some nice windows happening with a bit of depth in them. And we end up with something that looks like that. Okay. How are we all going? Are we all feeling okay about everything?
May Annalise,
Yes, darling.
sorry to interrupt. Jean said that she hasn't got your email yet.
Oh, I sent her the email. I sent it to her home email.
She
Oh, no.
says she's waiting for the link.
Okay, let me just check and I'll see that I've made sure that I've done the right thing. Just bear with me, guys. I'll
Okay.
just turn the recording off so you don't have all of this happening on the recording, and then I'll turn it back on again. All right?